most people never live. They only react. That is the quiet tragedy of a human life. Days pass, choices are made, habits form, but none of it is born from inner decision. It is all a response to pressure, expectation, routine, survival, noise. People are not living by design, they are drifting by momentum. They wake up because the alarm told them to. They hurry because the world rushes them. They worry because everyone else is worried. And then they die with a life that never once belonged fully to them. If you feel that statement in your chest, it means something inside you is still awake, still capable of refusing this fate. Because there are two kinds of people in this world: those whose minds are driven by the world, and those whose minds drive the world. The difference between them is not luck, not bloodline, not opportunity. The difference is mindset, the unseen architecture behind every decision. And the 1% mentality begins with one realization: you are the author, not the echo. The Stoics understood this before any modern book or motivational voice existed. They trained their minds not to be dragged by impulse or fear or crowd psychology, but to act from inner command. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Notice, not the quality of your money, your relationships, or your circumstances, your thoughts. Control them, and everything else aligns. Lose them, and even a perfect life will feel like imprisonment. The masses let the world dictate their thoughts. The 1% guard the gate. You know how the average person thinks. They wait to be motivated, wait to be understood, wait for a sign, wait for courage, wait for someone to give them permission to begin. But waiting is the breeding ground of regret. Every day spent waiting is a day traded for nothing. Seneca said it bluntly: while we are postponing, life speeds by. Most don't realize this until it is too late, until the years have turned solid and the path has narrowed beyond repair. The 1% mentality refuses this hypnosis. They do not wait for mood. They do not wait for applause. They do not wait for clarity. They begin, and clarity follows action. To live with the 1% mindset is to stop outsourcing responsibility for your inner state. It is to say, I choose what to value. I choose what to suffer for. I choose what matters, and I will live accordingly. This does not make life easier. It makes it yours. Most people run from discomfort, and in doing so, they run from growth. They chase pleasurable distractions, food, gossip, entertainment, noise, to soften the sharp edge of existence. But every pleasure used as escape eventually becomes a cage. The Stoics knew this. Epictetus warned, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Pleasure is not the enemy, slavery to it is. The 1% train themselves to endure temporary discomfort in exchange for long-term freedom. They say no to impulses that weaken them. They reject shortcuts that cheapen them. They choose the difficult decision if that decision preserves their self-respect. They can disappoint others, but they refuse to betray themselves. The herd lives by reaction. The 1% live by principle. Here is the core. They have a fixed inner standard, not a plan that changes with convenience, not a mood-based intention, a standard, something carved inside them that does not bend based on who is watching or how they feel today. They measure themselves not by outcomes but by alignment with that inner law. If they win but violate their code, they consider it defeat. If they lose but remain aligned with it, they consider it victory. Stoicism is not cold philosophy. It is inner engineering. It forges a mind that can walk through chaos without losing posture. You can lose a job, a partner, a reputation, a city. But if you do not lose yourself, nothing is truly lost. That is the 1% advantage. They are not easily broken because they do not anchor their identity to external things. You may think this path requires dramatic transformations, but it begins in the smallest daily moments. The moment you choose silence instead of reactive anger, discipline instead of delay, truth instead of approval, courage instead of comfort. These tiny choices compound into an identity. Practice this. Every morning ask, what decision today would the strongest version of me make? Then make it. Even if it is inconvenient, even if it is uncomfortable. That is how the 1% is forged, not by talent, not by childhood privilege, but by repeated alignment with who you want to become. Now listen to this and let it settle. The world respects the rarest currency, self-command. A person who is not easily shaken becomes a gravitational force. They do not chase admiration. Admiration begins to orbit them. They do not demand trust. Trust grows around them. They do not beg to be chosen. They become the kind of person who must be chosen. This is why the 1% feel different when they enter a room, not because of wealth or fame, but because their mind is not being controlled by the room. They carry their own climate with them. You want to change your life? Don't start with goals, start with identity. Ask, what would someone with the 1% mentality refuse to do? Then refuse it. Ask, what would they never tolerate? Then stop tolerating it. Ask, what would they act on immediately instead of postponing? Then do that today. You will outgrow people. You will disturb those who remain sedated by comfort. You will be misunderstood. Good. Comfort has never built a sovereign mind. This path was never meant to please the world. It was meant to free you from it. Remember this line every time you hesitate. Most people exist in reaction. The rare few live by design. Decide which of the two you will be. Not one day, not soon, not when things calm down, now. Because life is not waiting. Time is not negotiating. The years will pass whether you command them or surrender to them. Control your mind, or your mind will control you.